First of all, I probably have some maroon and white DNA in my bloodstream. My folks both finished up at West Texas back in 1929 when it was West Texas Teachers College. Then my brother VH, he finished in the early 50s when it was West Texas State College. My mother-in-law, Leola Hahn, she finished up about 1960 when it's still West Texas State College. And then my wife and I both finished up in the late 60s when it was West Texas State University. I can remember going to football games back in the Rock Stadium there on campus. And then when the Frank Kimbrough Stadium was built out there on the highway about 1959, I don't think we missed a home game. I really grew up in the field house, which was called the box later. Again, I don't think we missed a home basketball game during the 1950s. I think my folks wanted me to get a little bit of culture, and so I remember going to a lot of drama plays in the Branding Iron Theater.
Well, I guess it's obvious to everyone, but Rickey is older than I am by 3 or 4 years. And we grew up together, and I've known him all my life. We went to many games throughout our life at the box and at Kimbrough Stadium. We even enjoyed going to the Branding Iron Theater and saw musicals and plays.
Well, he's proud to be a Buffalo from WT.
So he's got Buffalo blood running through and through him.
But anyway, transferred to West Texas State University. Really enjoyed that time. But I was in math. Dr. H.L. Cook, he was the head of the department. He was old school. And I remember after class we were leaving, he said, "Harman, you need to come to my office tomorrow." The main reason he wanted me there, I finally figured out, was before I left, he said, "Harman, you can be a math major."
Rickey was always a great student. Kind of showed the rest of us up. He always took learning seriously.
In my junior year, that summer, I worked for Milton Morris, who's better known as Buff Morris, and he's a guy that dedicated his life to this institution.
And there's countless first-generation students that Rickey showed a pathway where they could get their higher education degree. The biggest way he supports WT is just because of who he is. He is a very accomplished, very highly decorated professor and administrator in higher education.
Rickey is a man that you can rely on, and he's not afraid of any task. When he was superintendent of a private school here in Lubbock, he drove buses, he emptied garbage cans, he mowed the lawn, he painted rooms. No task was too big for Rickey Harman.
He's an educator. He's been in it all his life.
When he was superintendent, he also taught. We couldn't find a teacher to teach that, and so he would give up his time and he became a classroom teacher while being a superintendent.
He's a stalwart of the Happy Cowboy Fishing Reunion. Every year us old men get together and go to Eagle Nest.
Rickey, if I have to fault him at anything, he can't fish. He cannot fish. You've got to have a degree from Happy High School to go on this fishing trip that we take.
We do catch some. We have major rivalries on that deal. In fact, one year I can remember I had the biggest fish. We were coming in the boat. We were not very far from docking, and Tom pulled in one bigger than I did. And that was a disgusting day.
This is long overdue. Rickey Harman has spent his entire life as a loyal Buffalo.
Everybody loves Rickey, everybody. And he's a great, great person. If he doesn't deserve it, I don't know of anybody that does deserve it. He has worked his entire career on education, standing up for what's right, showing kiddos what's right, and teaching them.
And to be an alumni of WT, you certainly have a deserving person here. A man who's worked for the community his entire life, with a smile on his face and love in his heart. I can't think of anyone who is more deserving of an award when he spent his entire life living in the world of education.
A lifelong friend that you never doubt and still have never doubted is a blessing. And Rickey Harman's that kind of friend, and he has been to me, and I love him, and he's most deserving of this award.
There are so many deserving people who are graduates of West Texas A&M University, so I'm really humbled to be one of them this year. I want to thank everyone involved. Again, this university has just been such a blessing to my family.